think we're going to start off with the Dallas news, and the news of the week is what we've been waiting for. It was delayed, in my opinion. I guess I don't know.
It took a long time.
Maybe they were waiting for the USL season to be over. I don't understand.
Well, I guess what we kept being told is that they were waiting for Pondeca to come back.
Yeah.
But even then, it took a couple of days.
Yeah, it took a couple days, but we'll talk about this a little. We'll talk about the second half of this statement a little bit more next week. But they dropped it on the same day as the new schedule release, so a little bit of a bait and switch and hiding the news there a little bit, right? We'll
yeah, for sure.
Getting their schedule news while they drop this, but it's out, it's here, and we got a lot to talk about. So let's jump right in. We've got 9 contract options were declined. I'll read those off real quick, but if you guys have any opinions on those, we can talk about that in a second. But declined have we got Herbert Endeley, Sebastian Lletget, Pedrinho, Diego Pepi, Thomas Pondeca, Carl Sante, Anthony Ramirez, Tarek Scott, and Alejandro Urusa were all had their contracts denied. The options that they exercised were Sebastian Ibeagha, Nolan Norris, and Anderson Julio. And we've got Jacob Jackson and Lletget available for MLS free agency.
All right. So do we want to go over the decline first? I don't think there was any surprise. I mean, Sebastian maybe, but we knew his money was going to be prohibitive.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm a little surprised, only a little, about Tarek Scott. But like I said, only a little. No, I just think there's still some potential there to play with. I think he's more of a victim of, hey, we had this timetable for you. Your injuries made it where that's not possible. Go have a good career.
Yeah, he is also eligible for end of year waivers. So if he clears waivers, they could potentially bring him back on
fair enough.
I don't know if he's eligible for North Texas again. I don't know how that works. I don't really know the Next Pro rules well enough to speak on that, but he is, if he clears waivers, maybe there's a chance they throw him on a reserve squad somewhere.
Yeah, I'm also not surprised about Pedrinho, but that was one that I could have seen them going either way on.
Yeah, I am a little surprised with Pedrinho. Look, we've talked about this at length, right? We know what happened with Lucho. We know he was in the doghouse then, but I do feel like he last couple of weeks of the season showed something a little bit more than what was there. So I was a little shocked there. I was also a little surprised by Diego Pepi. I know they had him out on loan to Texoma, and then he got hurt. I was surprised that they did not try and do something a little bit more with El Trencito.
I got to thinking about the Diego Pepi one, and I started thinking, do I want a player that went to USL 2, didn't really do well there, and might have been the worst? Yeah, but he wasn't even doing that great before.
USL 1 there, but yes, I got
yeah.
USL 1 now. Yeah.
Now they're USL 2, right?
But yeah. Fair enough. My bad. Yeah, USL 1, but was still like the worst.
That was a bad loan deal. I think they did it because of proximity, and I think
that makes sense.
I think that's why USL 1 team would work here. I think that's why the championship team, whenever it starts, will work here as well, is to get
interesting. Yeah.
FC Dallas loanees, right? Guys that need to rehab or whatever it is. That's a way to play up to a certain extent. That was just a bad deal all the way around. The team wasn't very good. The coaching staff was suspect. To be honest, when they originally announced, I had low expectations, and then midway seasons, I had no expectations.
Yeah.
And to be honest, to wrap up on the Diego Pepi point, his issue is that sometimes nepotism works in your non-favor. I'm comparing you to your older brother, who currently now is balling
right
at Ajax. So it's like that's not really a fair comparison.
Yeah.
To have.
I just don't think Diego ever really showed enough to warrant a long-term project.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, we can move on from that. But I will say, I think the biggest surprise here in this whole package is that Sebastian Ibeagha's option was picked up.
Sure, that's what the most people are probably going to be talking about, right?
I'm a little concerned about this, and I'm a little concerned that they seem to think that he is CB1, and I just don't see it.
I don't think he's CB1. I think
I'm not convinced.
Well, CB1 meaning he's a starter, right? There are 2 CB1s essentially, right?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not convinced they're taking that approach for sure yet. Like, let me see what they're nibbling at in the offseason. But
$750,000?
Yeah, but it's
It's
only
a
for
lot of
one
money for a
season.
guy that's going to sit on a bench.
But it's only for one season, and last season, we know for a fact they've been trying to bring center backs in.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to bring up the guy from, was it Luton, that came in and filled the physical? Like they're trying to get someone in.
Yeah, that
so
was
like that. Even when they had Ibiaga tied up as a starter, like I do think they're looking to move on, but I also think for some reason the last few coaches all like Ibby for some reason. Like,
no, I mean we know, you know, our favorite player, right?
yeah,
He just didn't fit because the coach don't know, you know. They all say the same thing: good player, good locker room guy. But if you're not, there is a thing to be said about being the coach's pet, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely, there is. Yeah,
we have a guy who is the coach's pet, and we question why we signed this guy, and he's back again for next year.
I'm just like, it's so interesting to me though. Like 3 coaches in a row, you think at least one of them would probably be like, "Hey, well, you know, you're good for one mistake a game." So, sorry, a big mistake is what I mean, not just like a little error.
There's something to be said for locker room. I get that, right? There is absolutely something to be said for a locker room presence and even an on-field presence. But the tape is the tape. Watch the tape.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. And I totally agree about the financials of it all. Is pretty wild.
I mean, yeah, it's 7 and change, right? I don't know the exact number, but it's 7 and change was his option. Like that is a lot of money for a guy that is 33.
Yep,
going to be 34 by the time the season starts.
Oh yeah,
I think this is not a young dude. He hasn't been, he won that one championship with LA a few years ago, and I don't see it here.
Sure.
I just don't see it. Do you guys feel differently? I think we all kind of feel the same
I
about this.
think we all.
Oh yeah, in general, yeah.
We were saying this mid-season last year that no.
I mean, I said a lot meaner things mid-season last year, honestly.
For sure. But yeah, it's one of them things where we know we need a QB 1B or you know, or B1 or whatever.
What does the formation look like now, right? What does the formation look like now? Are we going to 3 at the back?
Because I think I want to know more about that too. Like, I want to know what
you're going 3 at the back right now. Your 3 starting center backs right now in this world are, or your 5 available starting center backs right now, and I'll let you decide who your 3 are in this configuration, right? But if you're living in a world where you're going to 3 center backs, you have Osaze. That's your guy, right? I think we all agree Osaze is starting, right?
Without a doubt.
Right. You've got Ibiaga, Abubakar, Nolan Norris, and Alvaro Augusto.
I want to add Shaq Moore to that because they use him as a center back and 3-back. But yeah,
sure. But of that,
still it's him
there. Who are your starting 3 there? There's to me, and even if so you've got what did we just say? Hold on, let's run through that list again. So Osaze is your starter, 100%. Abubakar, Ibiaga, Alvaro, Shaq Moore, Nolan Norris. That's 5 guys that all can be CB3, CB4, CB5. Who's your number 2? Which one of those guys is good enough to be your consistent overall every week in, week out, at home, on the road starter? Who?
All right. Here's the hint. We're going to bring him out of retirement. Fucking legend. Anyway,
I love Matty, but Jesus Christ, the last thing we need is another 35-year-old starter.
Yeah. It depends on the 30-year-old starter, but
yeah.
I was just pulling this
agree.
up to show Ibby's salary. He's at that's Sebastian. So Sebi would Leggett would be $1 million. We're not paying him that much, and then Ibby is $750,000. Also, I want to shout out to all the league minimum players who are going to get a raise next year.
It's hard to know what the option price is as well, because sometimes they ramp, sometimes they go down.
No, they always ramp.
They don't always ramp.
When was the last time that happened?
I believe Third Degree talked about one last week.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember for sure, but they do sometimes go downwards.
That's what we were worried about.
Do I think that's what's happening here? No.
Yeah. Well, so, but go ahead.
No, just to move on from Ibiaga, because I think we all feel the same way, and there's just a giant question mark there, and I don't know what the answer is there, and this is not making me feel confident that they're gonna have.
I know what the answer is. We're gonna we're gonna bullshit until the World Cup. Then we're gonna try to get the third goalkeeper on some national team that shows well, probably Haiti.
Just
who is the
treading
third
water.
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna bullshit it, and then we're gonna look and see who we're gonna see. We're gonna look at World Cup rosters, and we're gonna pick some small country. I don't know, some CONMEBOL country. No, not Guam. Too small.
Guam.
Actually, Carousel. Right,
Curacao,
140,000. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
One of their center backs is an absolute baller.
They probably have some Dutch guy to hang out with Boss, right?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So that's
You know what?
Now-
I actually kind of subscribe to this theory. I'm okay with this. Let's make this happen.
and to be honest, it's not just them. The World Cup is a shop window. All World Cups,
Absolutely.
Sure.
U17, U20s, whatever it is. This is obviously the biggest of shop windows. This is what's the big street in New York City?
Broadway.
There you go. This is Broadway. This is Rodeo. This is all those cities. Shout out to Jacob Jackson, who played himself into getting a big check next year.
Oh,
I hope so, man.
He's going to be a baller somewhere in this league or elsewhere.
Look, at minimum, he's going to get a good contract, and if he shows up and he isn't good, who cares? He got paid.
Exactly.
Nah, I think he's going to be. Yeah, I mean, he showed out, but I think he's going to be able to take it to the next level next year.
Yeah.
But he's a free agent. That just makes sense, right? There's no reason to pick this guy up when we've got there's already a battle for keeper 1, keeper 2. This is not
at this point you want to put a kid behind him or something.
Right.
Yeah. Wait. Anderson Julio, how y'all feeling about that?
Anderson Julio, surprised,
okay with
not
that.
unhappy though.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he can stay healthy and we can keep that vertical threat, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see him play, and I would love to get a look at this at some point next season. I want to see, the Julio Dietzen combination on the wing.
Oh, Dietzen. I totally forgot.
Curious
Shout
to
out
see
to
what happens
him.
there, yeah.
We're gonna miss him next summer because Haiti qualified.
Which, by the way, he's got one of the coolest names I've ever seen on his national team jersey ever. It's just Don Luicious.
Don Luicious.
There you go.
That sounds like a handle.
I think we just need to start calling him the Don.
The Don of Delicious.
We need to call him into the 18 first. And then
honestly.
So about the guys who are currently on the contract, obviously Siki's not coming back here, so we can drop that.
No,
I think barring something weird happening.
Yeah, we're gonna do whatever we can to tell them.
Whatever the money
stay.
laundering scheme is, that is Enes Saleh.
Enes Saleh is a I don't know.
Somebody his agent must have somebody on the Epstein file or something. I don't know how the fuck that's happening.
That is a weird one. I don't know. I mean, he's still under contract, so that doesn't change. But I would be very, very, very shocked to see him get any minutes next year.
What is his pay? Let me go check.
Listen, entirely too fucking much is what it is.
Yeah, here's where I am.
It's an obscene amount of money for a guy at this level.
Yeah, here's where I am with Enes Saleh right now. One of the most fun things that happened is him coming in late in the season and immediately killing a guy for a yellow card. That was fun.
Yes.
Other than that, I mean, it's been a nightmare, right? And I think if Zanata manages to get us something for Enes Saleh this offseason somehow, like he keeps pulling off these crazy sales for me. So maybe
that's what his job is, man.
I don't know. We brought him in because he was a whatever sensation. He hasn't got called up to that team again.
So what we keep hearing is that they basically signed him without even scouting him.
Yeah, it's an agent,
which
call.
is
That's
insane.
What I'm saying. No, that happens all the time. I know people who say that happens. Like now,
that's not unheard of, but like
MLS teams don't actually scout. They know this reaffirmed my thing a couple of years ago with the Israeli Premier League when a bunch of players just started coming from Israel. I just noticed there were 3 signings from the South African Premier League. I'm like, oh wait, so it's a rotating thing. So the scouts scout the league, and then all the teams just start pulling people. It's just the weirdest thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense unless you can afford a scouting network, which isn't cheap. But to the Enes Saleh thing, it was like even weirder than just that. Like from what I understand, it's really like a guy calls like, "Hey, you should sign this guy." Okay. It's so weird, and it's Romania. It's Romania, by the way.
Romania, there you go.
Yeah, he's Canadian Romanian.
He was a wonder kid who go tell him to go play in the snow. If we can loan him north, maybe that'll be.
If I recall correctly, he wasn't even really a wonder kid once you really got to looking at it.
That's the thing about soccer worldwide. You have to believe stats in other countries. in a league that you're not sure about. So you're just like, oh, look at that. And we of all people should know that FC Dallas will go to the 3rd division in Bolivia and sign some kid we have never heard of. Sometimes he's a Castillo and he balls out, and sometimes he's whatever that guy who played one game in Orlando, fell down and never played another game. I don't even know
Was that wasn't Edwin Jazzy, was it? Yeah, it was.
No, whatever that guy name. He was irrelevant. He was here for 6 minutes. Or Jettison. You remember Jettison that we signed?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have done some really bullshit signings here at this league. We're actually shocked when it works, is the weirdest bit about it. So we shall see. With us in the J League switching schedules, maybe we can actually get some Asian players here, and maybe we can get but any other discussions? We're hoping to have a guest to go over all of these player signings and stuff here soon. But I think if we go back to our tape, this is basically what we were expecting as far as the people who are on the contract. Romario, I didn't know he was on the contract. For me, we need to find a slightly younger guy to play behind them because he will be missing games next year. I think we all know that.
I mean, I think the plan is right above him there.
Yeah, I would say I would argue if you can get one just above him would be better.
Yeah, I think the guy. I think the hope is that Pax is the guy that can play behind Ramiro.
See what happens.
I think the hope is Pax can play, and then we'll just start from there.
Fair enough. I don't remember who my picks were, so I can't say whether this is what I expected or not.
I'm gonna tell you it was what I expected. But yeah, go ahead.
Pretty ruthless from Quill, which is kind of like, right? We're dumping some dead weight. We're moving on from stuff. Again, I'm not shocked by the Ibeagha move. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?